Alright, so this is my new design that I'm going to be doing. I honestly really don't like it. I like the old one because of the airflow. I even tried to make the design where that is like on the left hand side or right, it doesn't really matter, and have the airflow go this way and then out, right? But just the way that it would be set up, I still want black spot here, black spot there with the handles. It would have just been really dumb how I have it set up, because I also want to lift up the top where you can access everything, and it would be really awkwardly shifted over to the left hand side or the right, and thought that was a bad idea too. Right now this is 10 inches from there to there, which is good. I can squeeze it down even more. This isn't too bad of a layout. Fan can still go on. You can still keep things somewhat cool, and it can send that heat out, so that's actually not a bad design. So alternating current in here, and then got our DC 24 volt, which will go to this terminal, and then from there it'll go here, here, there, and there. And then for the audio, it's going to come out of here into there and then out there, but it'll also split to this and then out to line. So the DC is going to cross over the audio. I didn't want that to happen, but it's going to have to happen. At least there's not that much of restriction right here for airflow to go out, so that's actually not bad. Yeah, I guess that's going to have to do. Now I just got to use that right there. I did purchase another piece of wood here. This is what I'm going to be using for the sled, and I went out and bought this. Paid like $56 for this sheet, which is insane. This is going to be for the speakers and the top. So yeah, that's what I'm going to use for that. The speakers themselves, I just stuck them in here. I'm going to recess them into the wood. I decided to cut this lip off of the other speaker, as you see right here. I'm just going to put it in just a little bit. It's okay if the rubber itself sticks out of the wood a little bit, because the fact that I'm going to have the speaker cover over it, and there's going to be a gap in between there, so this will be perfectly fine. Kind of looks silly having no lip there anymore, like this one does. I'm also going to have to trim the one in the back here too. Try to get a little bit off of that as well, and put it into that piece of wood. Anyway, I'm going to make my measurements, and I'm going to cut that and then go from there. I chose 19 by 11, so 11 this direction, 19 that way. Let's show you with the mini coffee table of what it would have looked like to what it look like now. So yeah, that's definitely good. A little bit of leather and leather handles on the sides and in the back. This will be like a lid that'll lift up so you can see all electronics and whatnot too. So then, yeah, could this be like a mini lid that can lift up and you can get around the corner with electronics. So yeah, just like a little lid right here, lift it up, and you can mess around over there if you need to. So I dealt with this already. It's just the thickness of this, so it's nice and smooth on top, just like the last one was, and they seem to both fit just perfectly fine. Yeah, that would be it. Now I just got to lay out everything, and that's going to be time consuming. The holes for the front here done, and for the radio, Class D amplifier board, should say, And then we got the 3 holes in back here for that panel. And now I just have to put it all together and then proceed on to the next thing, which would probably be, I don't know, that right there, which would probably go there. I kind of figured out the design I want. There's a lot of space. I don't like having extra, but you know, I guess that's kind of good too. I can always add in the future, like maybe an extra buck converter for something. I'm not really sure what I'd really want to do with that, but yeah, here's where the fan is. This here is going to be for the phone charger. Obviously there's my line out. That one, actually that's the phone charger. I got these mixed up. There we go. Yeah, that's much better. Had that mixed up, but yeah, I'm just going to run my lines from here, probably under, and then straight this way, and then up here, and then straight through here. So I'm going to have like a hole here, 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 here. That way they can line up nice and straight. And same thing down here. Yeah, that's going to be sitting there. That's going to sit there. So we got our voltage coming in here. And then out to the DC. I left a couple of gaps here. Don't want any jumping, which I doubt that's ever going to happen. But you just never know, right? Just safety type of thing. And yeah, that's technically it. I'm going to have to chop off a little bit more because I thought this is a little too spacey or spacious. That's a word. But yeah, I already got one of these cut out over there. I didn't go all the way through. I just need a tiny little bit out of that for the ends. That's going to be 17 this way and 11 that way. So this thing's going to be a lot smaller. Well, actually, it's about roughly the same size as the other one. But yeah. Alright, so I'm going to put these in here. I'm going to glue them into place. And yeah, just strap them down. I got a couple more of these fellas for longer parts, so that's kind of good. Oh, I want to show you the stain that I also picked up. That's gonna do perfectly. That's the color right down there. It's gonna match up. At least it's gonna try to match up as best as possible with this. So hopefully that's gonna help. This is going to be the color for that front face that you've seen there. Which actually I think I have a sample of that. Yeah, right here. Here's a sample. That should look really good with black. Yeah, that should definitely make those buttons pop out for sure. It's dripping glue all over the floor. Stop now, but now I gotta wipe it up. Good thing I picked those up today. Oh, I just saw some drop. But yeah, good thing I picked those up because my other ones are a little too small. Sweet. So I pretty much got the layout done how I want it. So I got holes here for the wires. I did screw up in one area, which is right here. I will show you that after. But we got the sub left and right channel here. So they go out into the holes here and then underneath and then back up and into there. So yeah, up and over. So that just helps out on angles. I have a strap here, so a zip tie will go there to hold them down. So 24 volts goes through here, down into these holes, under, and then back up here and into here. And then another one will go down through here and then up here. And this is where I screwed it up. I thought going up and then somehow having it come up here, but I completely screwed up and I put an extra 2 holes here. So it goes up here, back down, and then it's gonna kind of go off to the side here and back up and in here. So I have a zip tie that's gonna hold it down there. The zip tie will hold it down here. On this side, this is the line level. So this will go straight into like the left and right and sub right. This here, these three will go into the line left and right. Red is obviously right, black is the common ground, and the white is the left. These here, what is this? Left, what is that? Left, negative right here. We'll go straight up. You can follow these lines right here. You can see them straight up through there, and then comes up and into there. So it goes down and then up. I may actually have to put another strap right here. Thinking about it, yeah, I should put another strap right there to actually hold them down. I might be able to do one right there, a hole there, and a hole here. Be able to zip tie that as well from underneath. On this side here, we have power, which will just come right out, bend over, and then come straight through here through two zip ties, one in here, another one coming out and then going into there. This obviously goes out to the phone charger. This one goes out to the fan, so those are both out. This one here will just bend around a corner, go straight up and into there. This here obviously goes straight down there and then out into there. I've been having issues with the red one. It keeps coming out of the screw hole, which I'm kind of concerned about, to be honest. It might actually come out again if I keep moving around. That's not good, because this thing's going to be vibrating, and if these loosen up, you know, I could also put thread lock on it too, maybe. Or is that going to kind of screw it up? I would have to think about that one. But no, thread lock won't screw that up. It's just, yeah, I should be able to do that. Thread lock. Yeah, I could do thread lock right down here. That'd hold it from coming out. Yeah, anyway, so that's the layout. There's a little bit of flex in the middle here. That'll be fixed. I'm going to have little square blocks actually on the stereo that where this thing will sit properly on, and it may be mounted down into that. I might not want to even do that. I might just mount from the sides here. I haven't figured that part out yet. This isn't the design that I wanted. I was thinking about airflow in mind. See, air comes in through here and then out through the back. This here, air is going to come off to the side, so there'll be heat off on the sides, and eventually it'll push out that way. It's not the design that I wanted, but I don't have a choice. I got to cut down on that because the fact that I didn't want it like a table coming out to about here from the bench. I want it to be roughly about there, right? And then you have extra space in front. So yeah, now I just got to take everything off and spray it. That's what I'm going to be using. Good. Damn wind. I just gotta sit there and wait. The next day, this seems to be dry enough. This is gonna be the faceplate. Look at that, it looks really nice. Hey, you can even somewhat see me in the background there, holding my phone. I left that because that doesn't matter. That can stay black from the inside. I'm just leaving that as default. I need to scrape some of this off though, just around the holes here, because I need to connect that directly up to here. Actually, I might be able to do that from the back end. Yeah, should be able to scrape it from the back. Scrape around there, because all these pots here need to connect together to make my common ground. There's a pin here. It's that, or if you go to touch it or get close to it, then you're going to hear bzzz. You don't want that. So yeah, common ground will be connected directly here from the auxiliary, and then yeah, through here. So got to do that. I got to do a little bit of scraping. Much ready for wiring now, really. This here scratch is quite easy. So what I'm going to do is take some of that spray paint over there, and I'm going to stick into a little cap, and then I'll use a brush to kind of get rid of some of the scratches underneath. But that really makes these buttons pop out. That was the whole point of this, is I wanted them to pop out from the rest of everything else, because the rest will be black and like that reddish dark color. And yeah, that needs to stick out. And that obviously blends into the black background and whatnot. But yeah, I got everything laid out. I've also put lock nuts on the bottom, so this is now permanent. It's not going anywhere. This is how I'm going to have it permanently set up. The only thing I didn't add yet is the line level, because, well, as you can see, I'm going to have to desolder this, solder new ones on, and then assemble it like that. So that will be actually something I'm going to do now and put it into place and get it set up. And then I'm going to probably deal with the audio coming out of here and into there, and then from there into there. So that first here into there. So it's practically rebuilt again. This is going out to the charger. This is going out to the fan. And this one here will go out to that. It's not connected yet. I want to check my voltages here first before I actually plug it in. I don't want to blow anything up. And yeah, go from there. This is already plugged into there, so 24 volts directly in. Make sure everything's good to go. I just put that on there to make it look nice and neat. The bottom here, that's what it looks like. Pretty basic. It just looks nice and neat on top. Even right here, that looks really good. I like the design that I did there. Alright, well, seems to be good to go. I can plug it in and hope it works. Oof, there are cables everywhere. Unplug this stupid vacuum, plug this in. Alright, and bring him on over to here. And yeah, you're still off, good. Plugged in, turn you on. There we are. So everything's lit up there. This is already at 5.1 volt. That's perfectly fine. That can always be adjusted for the fan. This here, I need to test the voltages. Just make sure everything's good to go. And that's not where I wanted it to be. That's where I want it to be. There. Check this buck, and from looking at my piece of paper, which I did a little bit of changing. I originally had this as positive, not negative. It wouldn't have worked well from just moving the cables where they needed to be, so I shifted that. So ignore those wiring. But yeah, the positive out is here. It really doesn't matter. This is just for testing. I just need to know for sure though. Where we at? 5.23, which is perfectly fine for a phone charger. And you should be roughly around 10, maybe 11 volt. Yeah, you're about 10. Okay, so voltages are perfectly fine. I can wire this thing up and plug in the speakers and test this thing out. That's all wired up here now. It's time to test it. Make sure the relays work. Then I got a mess to clean up after that. There. Good enough. Lit up. Relays went on. That's strange how that light just slowly fades in and then fades out after. It's obviously being controlled by the capacitors for that, but yeah. Well, there we go. The design has changed, and I just, yeah, from that to that. I got a mess to clean up. Oof. Oh boy, it's a big mess everywhere. Finished cleaning everything up. Spent quite a bit of time doing that, but it's a little better in here. I just temporarily set this up. Let's plug it on in. It's off. Move the woofer back a bit. Alright, let's turn this thing on. Fan just turned on. Let's get you set up. Alright, let's connect. Didn't hear anything. Yet again, the volume is all the way down. Let's hit play. And it's the same song as last time. You can see. Oh yeah. It actually has sound.
I just want to quickly let you know that I'm using the Samsung S8 phone and they use noise suppression. There's no way to turn it off whatsoever. So you're going to hear some weird crackling noise from the speakers. That is not my fault. It's just, I have no control over it whatsoever. It's the phone itself, how it recorded the video.
They're all working. Like the front. Good. I just don't like how the air is flowing. It's going to be pushing off to the sides and then eventually creeping through the middle back here, I assume. So basically air pushes down, pushes off to the sides, right? And eventually all the hot air accumulates here on the sides and eventually goes up through the back. It's a worse design than this, but I had my reasons to rebuild it again. Because, well, look at that. Not much room. This is front to back, and now this is front to back. So it was best to do it on the side. See, if I would have kept this design, the controls would have ended up on the side, or I could have just desoldered the pots from here and then moved them to the front, but that's just kind of silly. I just decided to redesign this. But there we go. Now I can move on to bigger and better things like the layouts of the speakers on this sweet piece of board. Hopefully the stain is going to look really nice on that. I did a butt in here to show you guys where I got this faceplate, that top, and the back plate from. You see it right there. And it's this old RCA adapter. This is an RCA adapter that went from the RCA CRT TV that we have, which is actually right here. I'll show you really quick. Yeah, you can see it right there. Went from that to an old Pioneer stereo using a really awkward connection in the back. I've literally scrapped this thing and used it for parts. And I'm eventually going to do the same with these switches for another project. I don't know what, but yeah, if you can find that model number anywhere, you can actually be able to see what this really was. It's probably a rare breed now. But yeah, that was the top cover. And the faceplate was here on the side, and the back plate was on that side. And obviously the top right here was the top. So yeah, I just drilled all the holes. I grinded some slits on the sides and then filed them down. And yeah, it all came from that. So yeah, this is the unfinished design. If you want to look at it, I just did that quickly as a reference to figure out exactly where the positives and negatives are, because as you screw them down, you can't see them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I really like how I designed it. Like how I did with the wires and whatnot. Let's move this stuff out of the way here so you can see it. There we are. So yeah, the wires are coming through here and then going under, and then they're being strapped. This one's also being strapped too. And then they pop up through here. And then same thing going through there. I am going to tag this like I did with this one over here. So I'm going to see if I can find black and white text. What is this? These are one of those, like, you know, it's almost like a messenger pad. You type them out and it prints out the text, and then you pull off the sticker on the back of it and stick it to whatever. They're fairly expensive, but yeah, I'm going to see if I can find some black and white text. I want to put some on there. I also want to mark off doing that too with the volume, although I know what's what, but it'd still be nice to have it on there. And yeah, this is all strapped down. Nothing should move around. I like the design of that. Everything looks good on the bottom of it too. Oh, I should test this first. So I'm going to disconnect. Alright. Back there. Let's plug you in. I think I should get rid of that twist tie here first. Yeah. Oh, there's one thing I want to mention about this right here. So first I looked at one of the ends on this because I was going to cut it off, and it looked like it was correct, right? Which this right here is not correct. I went to snip off the one side and then went to solder it together here. Then as soon as I was going to plug this in, I realized that the red, as you can see right here, this is right and that's left, is reversed. So I had to desolder it from here and then switch them around. So that's why those aren't right. But I have no idea why they did that. But yeah, anyway. Look at that. A headphone jack. That's rare, huh? Alright. Just want to get rid of the stupid ad here. Screw off the ads. Okay, should be playing. Push in. Line in. There we go. Yeah. Oh, can we go right to that? What? Not remembering it, so let's give this a shot again.
Line in.
Line in. Definitely tell.
Line in.
No, it works. So it runs off that now too. So that's awesome. I can plug something into that. Well, anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I did it quite a lot, although it doesn't look like much. But yeah, this is the new layout. Hopefully you enjoy. Like I said, the next thing I'm going to do is the speakers. Figure out how I'm gonna set that up. Don't really like the spray though. It's still quite bright. It's kind of looking more of a dark color, but I don't know if you see this in the sunlight. That's pretty bright red. Yep. Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah. Anyway, hopefully you enjoy. Please do subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.